as Owen mentioned, the leaders of China, India, and Russia met at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit in a show of force. Today, President Vladimir Putin said his country's ties with China were at an unprecedented high. As Western sanctions choke Russia's economy over the Ukraine war, Beijing has become a lifeline for energy and raw material exports. Today, North Korean leader Kim Jong Un arrived in Beijing for a rare trip outside the country. He will join Putin for China's military parade tomorrow, commemorating the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. For more, let's bring in Chang. He's a senior fellow at the Gatestone Institute. First of all, give us your big takeaways from the summit in Shanghai and why it matters so much.
I think it matters because China is trying to create a narrative that it is now dominating the world and that the United States is finished. And that's why you see so much about, for instance, Prime Minister Modi of India going to Tianjin to see Xi Jinping. So really what we have is China trying to create something out of thin air, but they're very good at information warfare. And we're Americans and we don't think that that's important, but it certainly is.
It affects everything. It affects policy, it affects perceptions. Well, Xi from China, Putin from Russia, and Modi from India were seen holding hands and speaking on the sidelines of this summit, the SCO as you called it. What does that signal to you? More of the same?
What's news is you got Modi there, because this is his first trip to China in more than 7 years. Now, I'm not terribly concerned about China and India getting together. And the reason is that China claims large portions of India as its own. It has a lot of soldiers in the Himalayas on the border pressuring India. And that is the dominant reality. And by the way, the United States helps India to defend itself. But nonetheless, we've had some policies of the Trump administration recently that have been pro-Pakistan, and that certainly has angered New Delhi. And of course, the additional 25% tariff on India for purchasing Russian oil hasn't helped either.
Well, then let's talk about the arrival of North Korean leader Kim Jong Un in Beijing today. Kim and Putin are there to attend China's military parade to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. What does that signify to you?
So this is really rewriting history. Now, the Russians have certainly a claim for defeating the Axis forces, but not China or North Korea.
Now, will Ukraine, just pivoting over to that, will that likely be a topic of discussion there? North Korea has sent tens of thousands of troops to fight for Russia, but some say that also has soured relations between China and North Korea. Can you explain that dynamic for us?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of people say, well, North Korea getting close to Russia angers China. I don't think so. Matter of fact, I think China probably masterminded North Korea sending soldiers, artillery shells, and short-range ballistic missiles to Russia. Neither Russia nor North Korea is strong enough to defy China. China supports both of those regimes. And Russia would not be fighting today in Ukraine were it not for Chinese support. And the Kim regime would have failed a long time ago without Beijing's backing.
One more question. How does this affect both the gathering and the summit and the relationship between Russia, the North Korean contingent there? How does that affect negotiations between the U.S. and Russia about ceasefire talks? Americans are very invested in the war and in the defense of Ukraine. How should we be viewing all of these various moves and alliances?
I think that Russia wants to show that it's got the backing of China and North Korea, and so therefore it's trying to strengthen its bargaining position. We shouldn't be being intimidated by that at all. We have the ability to stop this war by not only tightening sanctions, but also, more important, enforcing the ones we have. We cut off the flow of money to Russia. There is no war in Ukraine. North Korea is not going to be providing anything to the Russians if they're not getting paid one way or another. So really, this is up to the Trump administration to do what needs to be done. Stop the flow of money to Russia. If we do that, this war ends fairly quickly.
Well, we'll be watching that carefully. Thank you so much, Chang.
Thank you.